Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
A huge salute to the first timers. They've come in, assembled a squad. At the auction, they said maybe not the best of all the 10 teams. They had a captain who didn't exactly come with captaincy experience, and they've won it at the first time of asking. We can go back to 2008 when the inspirational Rajasthan Royals, led by the first Royal, Shane Warne, took them to the first title with many other fancied teams around. Today, 15 years later, it is the Gujarat Titans who have done it again in the first time of asking, with a squad that on paper didn't look like potential champions when the tournament started. But I guess in sport, in cricket, that's what champions are made of. The game is not played on paper. You can defy the odds and you can win it. That's what Gujarat have done. And in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad, in front of an adoring public of 100,000 plus, it's magnificent. It's an occasion that cannot be replicated. Here we are, one final time after a long season on Cricbuzz Live, to look back at the tournament and to salute the new champions. I'm Gautam Bhimani, and I'm joined by Michael Vaughan and Ajay Jadeja. Let me come to the Gujarati connection. I'm just 50% of it, Ajay. But for 100% Gujarati, it must warm every heart. I know it's a franchise with people from all over the world, but there's something that hits home.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big moment for the Gujarati fans and Gujarati people who've followed this team. We haven't had much to celebrate because we had there was Gujarat Lions at one time, only for a couple of years, and what a moment this is. I mean, just in time when the big stadium was made, the crowds have come in, and what more? A Gujarati boy picks up that trophy today. Hardik Pandya, don't forget, he's 100% Gujarati. And more than Gujarati, I think it's India's cricket win that it is, and every Gujarati is an Indian first. So I just want to, I actually have no words for, to explain the happiness that I have. It's beyond that Gujarat connection with this team. Hardik Pandya's, one man I've always, loved to watch, and Ashu, who's put the team together. So for me, and most of the guys in there, I've, spent time with them, played with them, and really happy for them. I mean, I actually have no words to express, what this feeling is. It means a redemption for a lot of people in that team, including a man from Chennai. Ashish Kapoor's there as well. A lot of people don't give him credit, but he's been around from year one. The whole team out there. I mean, I'm missing out on a few names at the moment.
Yeah, there's the South African connection of Gary Kirsten and so many others. But of course, apart from being very close friends with Ajay Jadeja, Ashish Nehra is very much a part of Cricbuzz Live. We can, glass of water. What about some coffee? I mean, I think I should toast it. I've got my very special coffee beans in there. It's an espresso. I love my espresso. So I think I'll use that to say to Gujarat, well done. And we keep to it with glasses of water and with coffee, and that's how we toast them. Michael, over to you for your tribute to Hardik Pandya, who really has been an inspiration in a season when not every captain necessarily came and led from the front.
Yeah, I mean, India found one there in terms of leadership. They probably didn't realise how good a leader he could possibly be because he's never had the opportunity. Well, a couple of new franchises open up a couple of new opportunities in terms of leadership, and both those teams have been captained by real high-class Indian players. And Hardik, just the way that he played tonight, he led from the front. His tactics were magnificent. He said, give me the ball, I'll make something happen, and he did. And with the bat in hand, he just calmed the situation. They had a little bit of a flap on in that chase. Let's be honest about it. Those first few overs, it didn't go the way of Gujarat. They lost the wickets. The pitch was just doing a little bit, and he went out there and just calmed the situation down. Probably helped Shubman Gill, and pretty much when David Miller got out there, it was all over. You've got to take your hats off to the auction and the way that Gujarat ran the auction, got their team together. Ashish Nehra has been a tremendous kind of foil with Gary Kirsten. Gary Kirsten, for me, is up there with the best coaches in the world by a country mile. You only have to look at what he does. Wherever he goes, his teams, whatever he's doing to the teams that he's working with, whatever dust he sprinkles on them, because he doesn't actually say he does that much, but whatever he's doing, he creates culture, he creates the right vibe for players to go and flourish. So it's a tremendous effort. The best team, they finished top of the league for a reason, because they played better than everyone else, and they've won the IPL because they've been the best team throughout, which is great to see.
And if you look at the dynamics of the auction, Ajay, if we go back to that, remember when 2 new teams come in, they've got to wait for every other franchise. So in theory, that's 8 into 4, 32 possible players that could be knocked off your list. So you're really starting with player number 33, effectively. Not everyone went for 4 retentions, but effectively it could have been that. Quite a few players gone, and then you're starting from scratch. All the more credit.
Yeah, all the more credit. And I think they were a little fortunate, to be fair to them, because you got to give a lot of credit to Hyderabad to let Rashid go, and then Mumbai let go Hardik. So that gave him an opportunity. Those were the first retentions that he had. And then for the third retention, I think Shubham Gill was let off from Calcutta as well. So it does show you, and I think I said this a few shows ago when they made it, and I said, the 2 teams have actually shown something to the old guard. If you look at when, the first table finished, the top 2 teams were LSG didn't end up being number 2, but they showed you that, from coming from nowhere, they found all the talent that's already existed in your pool, and they've got better things out of them. So maybe, there is something for the old teams to look into. So they were a little lucky there that they had these players to pick from. And what great picks. I mean, Hardik Pandya, captain, how many people would have thought of that? Captain, of course, you expected him to score runs and take wickets. And Rashid Khan, as usual, carried on doing what he did. And Shubham Gill, who was probably, not that underrated, probably overrated. I always feel that way. But when it comes to low totals, or when you need to get those 130s to 160, then he's the man that you want. So as a unit, even at that, before the auction started, they put their team together.